So yes, ELI is my company. They started business. We've been in the foreign language business for more than 40 years now. We are based in Italy. We have an office in Milano, and another office is where the headquarters are is south of Bologna, near Bologna. And some of you might wonder what ELI means. It's not a name. ELI stands for European Language Institute, because we started as a language school for unemployed people in the 60s. And we started to produce our own publication just for internal use until mid-70s. Then we have some requests from other schools, one step, the other step, and we became a publisher. Nowadays, ELI is the first ELT publisher in Italy for primary school. We are the #1. And we are the third ELT publisher in secondary school in the Italian market. Obviously, first one is Oxford, and second in Pearson, and third one is ELI. So we started obviously as an Italian publisher many years ago for the school market, mainly focusing on the primary school. Then in the 80s, we decided to try do some international editions of our own book, language games and readers, and to sell them abroad. And that started our adventure. Nowadays, yes, it's true, ELI is an Italian company with deep roots in our country, but we are very much also an international publisher. We are an independent international publisher. We are still, kind of a medium-sized business, because ELI, there are about 100 people working for ELI, so we're not a big company. The advantage of this, of working with ELI, is that we are very quick in decision, very flexible, and we're always ready to find new things, to talk to our partners, to find a solution that can mutually benefit our company, obviously, and our partner companies. Nowadays, ELI we can rely on a network of distributors and partner publishers in more than 80 countries. Europe is probably still our main market. Now I'm not talking anymore about Italy, but just the international market. So Europe is still our main market. We have a very important cooperation with other European publishers, like, for example, CLE, which is a French learning language publisher, with CLET, Langenscheidt, the German publisher. But we've also been cooperating in the past with big companies, also from our, let's say, kind of competitors, because they work in ELT, which is our main field, like, for example, Cambridge University Press. Cambridge University Press, in the early 2000s, I don't know how, they got some of our course books. At the time we released the course books for primary school, was called Join In, which was a great success in Italy, and Cambridge University Press asked us the license to sell this course globally. So they took the license, and this course was a great success all over Asia, especially in China, but also in many other countries. And that gave our brand, ELI, a big visibility abroad. As Keith said, we try to give, an Italian touch to our publication. So we take great care about the page editing, the illustration, the format, etc., etc. And I believe that, in a way, these have been acknowledged very much all over the world, especially with our reader series, which we started about, the latest one, the one that is now on sale, was started about 9 years ago in 2010, and is now very, very successful all over the world. So successful that we won several awards for this series. These awards are given every year on an yearly basis by a no-profit organization based in Japan. which is called the Extensive Reading Foundation. The Extensive Reading Foundation is a no-profit organization that promotes extensive reading throughout all grades and throughout all students of schools. And they have many shows. They give presentation and teacher presentation, teacher training all around the world about the extensive reading. Extensive reading is based of, reading without interruptions, to learn the language, to get the language inside in the student's mind without much effort. So they promote reading classic, original story, etc., etc. Well, this organization every year choose the best graded readers in the market. So obviously ELI, which is a small publisher competing against kind of, Oxford, Cambridge, Macmillan, Pearson, etc., etc. Every year we won at least, in the last few years, at least 1 or 2 awards. The awards are, there are different awards according to the levels of English. So you have an awards for graded reader for young kids, one for teenagers, one for young adult, and also different level. So we are very happy because the Extensive Reading Foundation acknowledge the quality of our readers, not only the content, but also, the illustration, the activities, the multimedia content, etc., etc. So that is a good acknowledgement. What else to say? ELI, as Keith said, ELT is, our main focus. It's about 60% of our production and our sales abroad. But we also produce materials in other foreign languages. So basically, we are a pre-Key 12 school publisher. We do foreign language materials for kids from age 3 to age 18, more or less. Then in some countries, these materials are also used at college or university. But basically, they're targeted to pre-primary and secondary school. And apart from English, I'll say, we also do, we also produce materials in French. I have one catalog here. In French, so here course books, graded readers, games and other materials, German, Italian and Spanish mainly. Then we also produce a few complementary titles for learners of Russian, and lately, since a couple of years, we also take a plunge into the market of Chinese as a foreign language, because it's becoming quite popular in Europe. There's a demand for materials of Chinese as a foreign language, especially in secondary school. So we produce some readers based on the same format as our ELT readers, and some games also for learners of Chinese. As regards French, Keith was saying about the institutional endorsement of our titles, because we purchased a few years ago a historical company, a publisher called Pierre Bourda. Pierre Bourda is a French publisher, very well known in France and beyond. So we can endorse our book by using a double logo, ELI and Pierre Bourda. And this is very useful to get into the French market, because, French people, they are like the British ones. They like to, promote, but especially use books that are their own, with their own brands. So many teachers say, why should we buy English books from an Italian publisher? Well, you should buy English books from an Italian publisher, because, as Keith said, we gave, I think, a different touch. That our buzzword is engage the students. Engage the students through activities that are pleasurable and visually attractive, and we try always to offer something more than our competitors, even if we are, much smaller than all the big companies that hold this market. So, as you will see, ELT, but also the other languages, our production varies, and we have several titles from the classic course books, international editions. Usually, when we talk about course books, in some countries we sell directly through our distributors, but very often we try to, find some agreements with the local publisher, that because very often course books for primary but also for secondary school need some local adaptation. So we supply the international editions, and then our partner publishers undergo the adaptation required to meet the market curriculum. So course books for primary, secondary school, our, as I told you, as you are already aware, our quality and award-winning graded readers, language games for all level, primary and secondary school, grammars, illustrated dictionaries. We have a really wide range of products, teachers' resources, anything more or less, anything that might need by the teacher at the school. We also are magazine publisher. We have some magazines in English, French, German, Spanish and Russian. We publish 6 issues every year, and these magazines are available in digital format and in paper format and are sold on subscription.